that's played against him. Only one win, though.
I do want to point out, too, though, right? We talk about this being a really good matchup for Lucina. 35-17 is Mr. E's lifetime record in that matchup.
For games, 13-5 in sets.
13-5 in sets.
Yeah.
That is a huge tell to the story, right? This is the guy who can clean it up, will seal it out, but when he gets down, that's where you have to capitalize, trying to find an early edge guard, but great route from Caesar, keeping this one nice and patient.
And now some great damage coming on in. That's the thing, if Caesar can break through that sword wall, all of a sudden you are going to see mad damage, but right there, Dolphin Slash, nice, quick, frame one inside of the air for Invul.
Yeah, and I really like this from Mr. E, just keeping the patience and keeping the reset. I love the jab reset there as well to keep the extension going, but just literally not pushing this any further than you have to, keeping about a sword to a sword and a half between yourself and Ken at any given time, because Ken Masters, especially without those fireballs, doesn't have the best burst tools unless you overcommit to deal with Lucina.
Now gonna go ahead, try to snuff him out right there. Caesar rolling on in, but getting called out. Mr. E having nice, rapid reaction time. That's the thing, when you've been playing the game at the top level for this long, you know he's gonna be at the ready.
Yeah, Ken there, even with the parries, Mr. E ready with the cross-up. Great positional awareness, knowing what Ken likes to look for, and that when you're stuck in that animation, you don't turn around until afterwards. Good idea with the Shoryu, but didn't connect all the hits, and the right eye from Mr. E gonna let you live another day. CesarSalad starting to feel a little bit of an onus to find the stock, going to, with the jump in, into the Shoryu. That DP gonna close it out. Yin,
Now,
if you're Mr. E here, you just need to wait to keep to your patience, keep to your game plan.
look, you got that sword, you got the edge guards. As long as you can beat him out in neutral, you should be fine. That being said, Caesar playing nice and very evasive. Mr. E, though, not giving him a second to wait. Look at that, the counter, the back air. This is just a nice, good little crash course on how to edge guard the Shoto.
And Mr. E, right, been playing this matchup so well so far, except for those aggressive dancing blades. You're trying to find a shield poke or something, but just keeps getting you punished, keeps getting you caught out. Ken, very good when he finds a way in, right? Can make you explode. Lucina, the perfect size, the perfect weight to just really eat the short end of the stick against a lot of Ken's combos. However, if you don't find that one hit, that sword makes it real hard to get back in.
It is a bit of a problem. Now at this point, Mr. E just going to go ahead, back off, take his time as you need to against Ken. And look at that, Caesar on the whiff, had his opportunity, but just couldn't snatch it up. Now at this point, Mr. E is right back in on that stage control type beat.
SSBU, that's what Mr. E is saying right now, trying to just stab this man all 44 times, but unfortunately it's going to be the DP that is going to take the stock away. CesarSalad starting to clean this one up a little bit just by playing a lot more heavily in shield Yin, but Mr. E's the one with the room to give, so we'll see how he answers back on this last dog.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that grab. So good from Mr. E right there to go ahead and call out the roll. Now, the parry coming on through with Caesar. Very important thing to have online here, especially against Lucina. Locked him at ledge. This is your opportunity. Can you steal the stock and the game?
Yeah, you certainly can. You just have to be careful over those platforms. Such a good landing mix-up here on PS2. A lot of ground to cover, and Ken not the best character to cover them. However, great SDI to find a way through and away. Mr. E locked and loaded right now, but he's starting to panic. He's starting to slow down. He's playing not to lose rather than to win. Yin, just fade back air. This might be it, but even still, he has to seal down the next game more confidently. You could see the confidence slipping there.
That reverse hit from Mr. E to go ahead and force the edge guard again. Beautiful. I think that's the big thing that I've seen from Mr. E over the past year or so, because everybody talked about Proto is the edge guarder. Mr. E, you can't be sleeping on this man. You are off stage, all of a sudden, he's popping the counter, he's popping the back airs, he's popping a reverse hit up B to go ahead and call you out.
I think his discipline was immaculate that game, right? As we talked about, again, minus a couple anti-dancing blades, which sometimes you get a little too lost in the sauce. That's how it goes. What I will say is when he's in the lead, that's a perfect way to play, and we saw him get massive dividends from it. However, as it got closer, you saw him trying to play the reset into the straight hit position and just catch Ken coming in over and over again. It nearly cost him the game. He has to be confident in committing in some of those risky situations, because as CesarSalad cleans up his own game, you aren't going to get as many chances to just let him breathe for free like that.
Now, you got to figure out how many chances do you need to go ahead and get this game number 2 if you are CesarSalad. We have the Hadokens coming through. Love that F-tilt to the back air, doing some nice good damage. Oh, saved him!
Yeah, he didn't have a jump there. That was very much depth. Unfortunately, Caesar getting a little bit too lost in his own dressing, and Mr. E now just trying to find a way back down. The full-on scramble, the full-on scrap from both players. The crouch now to get under the Tatsu. Both these players showing you that they are fully locked in here 45 seconds in, but still, it's just been a straight hit game. Neither one of them has been able to really find a cohesive advantage state yet in this second game.
Now look at that, the fair to go ahead and cut it out. The down air, you were saying something about cohesion. Right now, Mr. E showing a little bit of something there as he caught Caesar lacking off stage with the focus.
Yeah, maybe you want to like try and cancel that or something, but just getting caught in the hit animation means that's all she wrote, sending you to the blast zone. Mr. E with the pivot walk, getting a little tricky, baiting something to platform just like that, was trying to catch a landing on platforms and then maybe just get the side switch, not get exploded. It's a good place to hold because he has to come in with the pressing kick there. But unfortunately, even when he does, dude, it's brutal.
It's
just
so
brutal.
Hard.
Like, if you're in the right position.
Rinse repeats.
Yeah, if he's in the right position, there's nothing you can do.
Look, I know that especially where Nogales is only like 40 minutes away from Tucson, I'm sure there's a lot of the Tucson boys here rooting for one of the Tucson twins, none other than CesarSalad. But at the same time, this is disheartening at some of these moments.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the matchup, like, right, where you get put in the awkward position where you have to aggressive up B, but if Lucina's in the right spot, she just kills you for it. Gets the reset! Okay, does not find the stock off the up smash. Mr. E looking for the clip of the tournament so far there. While he doesn't find it, is able to just keep the pressure going, just keep the mental stack rising, and you can see CesarSalad trying desperately to make something happen. Does get the raw anti-air, does get the DP, but that's still a lot of work to get on the board in this game, and I think you have to win this game to keep that mental together.
Yeah, Caesar is really trying for it, going for a lot of these focus attacks up close and personal, but Mr. E is going to be the one to take the next hit. Now at ledge, one clean back air, that's all is needed.
Yeah, dude, just the pivots that game too. Mr. E's willingness to not just hold on the stick and say, I'm going to run at you like everybody else on the planet.
I'm going to walk, I'm going to pivot. There was even wave dashes from him.
Yep, we saw a lot of wave lands, and that's something that Lucina does pretty well in this game. Characters like Lucina, characters like Samus, are some of the ones we see Byleth as well, right? Who have these really strong ledge dash or wave dashes because they microspace you just enough to kind of set up the perfect positioning for your sword and the perfect amount of lag where they kind of bait them in a little bit. Now game 3 though, and Yin, what can CesarSalad get cooking?
I think one thing, we got to go ahead and lock down some of these advantage states. That was only 17%. You're Ken, please, let's do some more damage, baby. I want to see you explode this man at 30.
Yeah, you got to be careful, though. That's 2 down airs, going to put you in position for a third, but Caesar making like a beeline for the ledge and going to hold on for it, now having to focus his way through an onslaught. Mr. E coming out completely different playstyle in this third game, right? Just high octane, high pressure. Feels like he has an advantage to exploit and will stop at nothing to do just that.
Yeah, and a little bit off there. You know Mr. E was ready to go ahead and pull the trigger on the bear. But instead, going to go ahead, fight his way off the ledge with that up air. The focus not going to go ahead and confirm into a punch, and Caesar not going to get the punish after the whiff from Mr. E.
Okay, now trying to find a way back, going with a little bit of the Kazi air, right? The up air off ledge. Doesn't find its mark, though. Going to scout out the Dolphin Slash in turn. CesarSalad has done a great job of getting up close and personal and not getting reversals for it. But it's Mr. E who's just willing to feed back these forward airs. Literally willing to say, okay, you want to scrap with me? I don't feel like it. I'm just going to keep walling you out anyways. That have been given him so many more opportunities for success.
Just what are you supposed to do when you're fighting against a sword like that with just your hands and fists? Look, this was meant to be a martial arts match. She's got a sword. That being said, he's got a way to go ahead and dumpster her with that back air.
Listen, who needs a sword when you've got those steel toes, my friend? and great confirm from CesarSalad. Again, playing this one patient, trying to play the footsie game, but just getting a little bit antsy on shield, right? Ken has some amazing shield pressure, and we've seen the amount of it that we've seen come out, but just not able to get in the position to force some of these awkward jumps that we've really seen CesarSalad capitalize on to the fullest.
Yep. Look at that up B, though. Going to go ahead and poke up through the stage. Now Mr. E whiffing on the grab. This is an opportunity, and Caesar really wanted to go ahead and seize the day there.
I still have it. Does get the reset on the side switch. Nice little jab into the crescent kick there. But now in the overextension, right, gets caught under platform in the wrong position. Mr. E able to find a way back to free. These two dancing around each other, playing a tango. And while it takes two, it's going to be not the Tatsu, but the back air. Mr. E looking inevitable right now.
What can be done? One hit should be a kill, but that hit so hard to go ahead and find as Mr. E slowing the pace down. Look at that, the Waveland back. Again, sending it once more just to go ahead and make Caesar unsure of where Mr. E is going to land. We even have the slingshots coming in here. Dude is just moving, and he is moving to the blast.
I was going to say, you get caught in center stage like that, you should expect to die. But you're seeing where Mr. E is slingshotting is under platform, right? Every time he's fading back, act means that you can't see a forward air or a neutral air to approach to extend that range from CesarSalad at all. You just have to get in grounded style. Oh, and that's what we're seeing Mr. E try to exploit. Now he's going to do it again, right? Wave dash back, see if you come in. You don't. That's when he pounces. Once you commit to your option defensively after the fact, finding the 3-0 in clean fashion. It's just wave dash to perfection there. It's wave back, dash back. Okay, do you come in? I have a sword and you're stuck in your initial dash, right? So whatever button you push, I get to punish the startup on, or I get to punish you for initial dashing. If you run away, well, guess what? I wave landed, so I'm actually still actionable sooner, and I get to come on in and find a punish for that. It was just great bait, great awareness from Mr. E, and as good as CesarSalad played the openings he had, he just really wasn't given that many consequential ones.
Yeah, it was a